Hello friends, this is Vivek Kumar Anand. I am working as an assistant professor with the prominent university in India. I am a certified ethical hacker by the EC Council version 10 and Security Plus by the CompTIA. Right. So in the previous slide, we have discussed the introduction of the penetration testing, how we use the penetration testing, what are the rules of engagement, and the basically basic introductory things. In this slide, we will discuss penetration testing methodologies, right? Because there are three basically, not many, although there are three important methodologies what we need to discuss, right? Because every penetration tester use the particular methodology according to the need. Because few methodologies are based on the network penetration testing, few are based on the web applications. So what is the purpose of the penetration tester? So accordingly he or she will use. So but in every penetration testing methodology and the reporting are the most important steps, like what we discussed in the previous slides. Reporting is the important steps, because what we are getting from the penetration testing, we need to write up, right? We need to prepare some reports so that any organization can come to know about the results of the penetration testing, like what we have done in the tests, what type of methodologies we have used, what things we have discovered, what the vulnerabilities we found, right? So these things need to be associated with the report. So let's first talk about the methodology. There are several different type of penetration testing methodologies that address how a penetration test should be performed. Some of them we will discuss in the next slides. First methodology what a penetration tester uses, that is OSS TMM. That is an open source security testing methodology manual. It is basically includes almost all the steps involved in the penetration testing, because first we need to gather the information, then we need to the scanning, then we try to find out some vulnerabilities, then we will exploit that vulnerabilities. So it involves all these steps, right? The methodology employed for penetration testing is concise, yet is a cumbersome process. This methodology is a base, right? It is although it is a concise method, but it uses a cumbersome processes which make it difficult to implement in our everyday life, because it's not for the everyday life. It's like this methodology is particularly for the network penetration testing, not for the web application penetration testing, right? So that's why it's not for the everyday's life, because most of the organizations uses some compliance. They try to ensure that those compliance are fulfilled. So that's why they need to do penetration testing in in at least once in a year, or twice in a year. It depends like what changes they are having in the organization, right? If there are a big change in the organization, then definitely they need to perform the penetration testing after that change. So this is the purpose actually how we use the penetration testing. So penetration test, despite being tedious, demands a great deal of money. Definitely penetration testing demands money. A particular budgets is allocated for the penetration testing, so that organization can be assured that okay, this is our budget and we can spend this lot of money for the penetration testing, right? So the second methodology is NIST. NIST is on the other hand is more comprehensive than OSS TMM, and it's something that you wouldn't be able to apply on a daily basis, right? Because it's short engagements. You can see even in the diagram. First phase is planning, right? Because what we plan in the penetration testing, like how we will do, then accordingly what we need to do. Second step is discovery, right? We will gather the information about that particular source, right? Then we will try to scan the networks, then we will find out some vulnerabilities associated with the networks, like if there is some ports open or not, what services they are running, so what OS they are having. So then we will try to find out some additional discovery. Then according to the discovery, if there are some vulnerabilities, then we will try to exploit that vulnerabilities. Then we will prepare a report. So this is the whole diagram of the NIST. The testing starts with the planning phase, where how the engagement is going to be performed. right, is decided upon. This is followed by the discovery phase, which is divided into two parts again. The first part includes information gathering, network scanning, what we have discussed. Like information gathering is the first step of ethical hacking, because as much as information we can gather about the source, we will be more successful in the as penetration testing or hacking. Actually, these terms are identical, but hacking is not a legal process. Penetration testing is a legal process, right? Because we are taking a prior permission from the organization, right, just to assess the security. So the first part includes information gathering, network scanning, service identification, and OS detection. So what we do with the Nmap, right? And the second part involves vulnerability assessment. For the vulnerability assessment, we can use many tools, or with the even many programming languages. You can develop our own tools. Even with the use of Nessus, Nikto, there are many tools available for vulnerability assessment, right? So after the discovery phase comes the attack phase, which is the heart of every penetration test, because attacking is the main thing, right? If we found some vulnerability, then we need to exploit that vulnerability. So if you are able to compromise the target, then a new host is discovered. In case the system is dual homed or is connected with multiple interfaces, dual homed basically it is what we use in a type of firewall also, right? Because there are at least there are two systems connected, or with multiple interfaces. You would go back to step 2, that is discovery, and repeat it until no targets are left, because you need to cover whole of the organizations, right, whole of the hosts. The indicating arrows in the block phase and the attack phase to the reporting phase indicate that you plan something and you report it. Because after the penetration testing, reporting is the important process, because if you discover something but you are not writing in that particular thing in the report, right, then definitely the purpose of the penetration testing is not fulfilled, because organization will not come to know about that particular vulnerabilities, so that they can take particular action to patch that vulnerability, right? So you attack a target and report the results. So this is the more advanced version of NIST. You can see additional discoveries. The organization also has a more detailed version, you can see, which actually exploits more than the attack phase. It consists of such as gaining access, escalating privileges. Escalating privileges is like we are having guest account privileges, but different applications are not running by that guest account privileges. So what we need to do, we need to escalate the privileges, because we should have administrative privileges so that most of the application can run. Although you should be aware about that administrative privileges is not the highest privileges in the Windows system even, because what we study in the basic computer science, that administrator is the highest person, or like highest authority, what they have the highest privileges, but it is not correct, right? Administrative privileges is not the highest privileges in the Windows system. So because some highest privileges is the NT privileges, right, network terminal, what we use for the Windows term. So we need to escalate our privileges so that we can execute, or we can do whatever we want to do in the system, right? Then we need to perform system browsing and install additional tools. If we want to inject some file, if we want to use DLL injection, if we want to use DLL hijacking, if we want to use RFI, LFI, so definitely we need to install some additional tools also. So we will go through each of these steps in detail in the following steps, right? So these things are associated with the, again, NIST, but it is the extended version of the NIST. It's almost identical. Okay, the next methodology we will discuss is the OWASP. Previous two methodologies were all based on the network penetration testing, but OWASP is all based on the web application penetration testing. OWASP is the open source web application security project. OWASP provide top 10 vulnerabilities in every year. Vulnerabilities, that there are common vulnerabilities also, like you must be knowing XSS, SQL injection, indirect object reference, right? So these type of vulnerabilities are given by the OWASP. If there is any new vulnerabilities found, in the upcoming years, then definitely those vulnerabilities will be added by the OWASP in the top 10 list. So OWASP is all based on the web applications projects only, right? There are there might be many different type of vulnerabilities associated with the OWASP. Those are not basically represented by the OWASP. In the same way, Sense also provide the vulnerabilities. Sense provide the Sense 25 vulnerabilities, but OWASP, what we use for OWASP is the methodologies, right? OWASP provide top 10 vulnerabilities so that we can implement or we can test those vulnerabilities in the actual web applications. Even OWASP provide the own virtual machines so that you can test the even you can practice the particular OWASP top 10 vulnerabilities in that particular virtual machines, right? So this is the methodologies. So we have discussed three methodologies here. First is OSST TMM, second is NIST, third is OWASP. So next topic we will discuss the categories of penetration testing. There are three categories: black box, white box and gray box. Then we will discuss type of penetration testing. Then we will discuss report writing.